Welcome back to your Millennial Group Therapy Session, Baby One More Podcast with your hosts, Steph and
Morgs.
Yay.
Hello. We're
I
back.
literally,
back.
with that being said, I literally sat here and had to think about what the opening part was because I was like, fuck, we haven't done this in a hot minute. I don't remember it. And I still executed it with perfection.
Flawless. A++.
Thank goodness,
queen.
because my appearance says otherwise for what my body is spewing, or my brain in my mouth.
You're doing great. I'm going to fill in the blanks for you.
Thank you.
That's why I'm here.
Because I feel as though blank space is the theme song of my life for my brain right now. This is my life. It's my life today.
You're here. We're here. We got it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyways, welcome back to all that are listening, because yes, we took a week off, but technically we had released 2 episodes in 1 week. So did we really take a week
Give
off?
us a
Not
break,
really.
Y'all.
Not really. And congratulations to the giveaway winner if they're listening, because you know who you are. And excited to get that out in the mail for them. Definitely stay tuned for more giveaways because I like doing them. They're fun. Why not?
Yeah, we love
Why
to
not
interact
give back
with the people
to the supporters.
Exactly. We love
To
the
the
fans.
supporties.
Thanks, fans, for being
fans. We appreciate you.
Exactly.
And all that you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna dive right in. Today's episode's gonna be a little bit more chitty chatty about just movies, TV shows, books.
Yeah, nostalgia
life.
about exactly. Us catch up. We're having a little catch up session, a little vent sesh, whatever.
And yeah, we always throw some nostalgia in there. And I was telling Morgan the other day, well, it was probably 2 weeks ago at this point, but the other day, the evolution of streaming and what once was Blockbuster and what once was Redbox and what is now Netflix and streaming services. And does anyone even go to a Redbox? I know they still exist.
Dude,
but
I like the concept.
Does anyone even have a DVD player?
We use the Xbox, at least.
Well, that's true. I guess
dual
that
purpose.
does work as that. That is very true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the Xbox too because of Joe, so if we really wanted to, we could.
You could. But also, I guess it depends. If you don't have to pay for streaming services, but you want to rent something that's more new, maybe. But I feel like even on-demand sort of stuff, you can still rent on there now. My favorite.
Yeah, I do it through Amazon Prime.
Yes, exactly. The Blockbuster, where we live, our hometown, obviously closed down, but there's a patio furniture store in that place now. But
pretty sure that's not actually for patio stuff, but Nick thinks it's a
sketchy.
What are they called when people
a front business?
Yeah, laundering money. He's
Maybe.
How is it open? I've never seen a soul walk in there.
There's also a bunch of whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if the patio furniture was selling at the fucking Wellington. But I love that literal fucking slot of the Blockbuster, return your movie slot is still there when you walk by.
That's true.
I don't know if you've walked by it anytime.
I haven't walked by it recently, but now I'm going to have to do that and just take a picture of it because I feel like I never realized it.
Right.
I know it was there for a hot minute, but then I forgot all about it. It kind of just poof, disappeared from my brain, from my noggin until you just said that.
Little mail slot just to return your little videos.
What a time it was to go rent movies.
I know.
And the thing that
around.
I was watching, and you would go look, but the thing that I was watching that was kids will never know the struggle that is going to a Blockbuster, knowing that you want to watch this movie, only to find out that it's not there. Everyone's already rented it.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
And My favorite were like all of the unhinged level of movies that we'd watch. And it's probably my favorite genre. Like when I'm having a day and it's like a Saturday, if it's a Saturday morning, if it's gloomy out,
Morgan is like queen of this.
I am. I'm a queen of like a good bad movie. And
like cringeworthy movie.
like prom night. Like, have you ever seen that? Like
I
Brittany
did.
Snow's in it. Terrible.
So friggin' terrible.
I love these like bad horror.
They're like so bad you can't look away. That's literally what they are.
Fucking train wreck. House of Wax. I literally just remember sitting on Nicole's couch, like huddled next to her. Terrible, but like a classic.
Forgot about that.
I could go on. If you guys want a list of recommended good bad movies, you let me know.
Yeah. If you're in the mood for that type of genre.
Dude. It's always like the trying to be horror. I don't know. It's odd because it's like comedy ends up being comedy because you're like, is that real?
100%. But yeah, it was just, I was thinking about that the other day and I'm like, yeah. It was basically saying why millennials make great, gentle parenting parents because of the things that we've had to go through growing up, like dial-up internet and Blockbuster. All these, MySpace, like all these different things that have like molded us into being able to deal with the gentle parenting because we've had to deal with all these other fucking crappy things. Because like the kids nowadays don't deal with that. The kids nowadays just like got shot out into a world where everything's just like immediate satisfaction. Like, oh, you want to watch a movie? Turn on the TV. You can find it like that. When we wanted to watch a movie, it was like, Mom, Dad, can you drive us to the Blockbuster down the road? And then we're going to see if we can find the movie that we want. And if we don't find it, then we're going to have to walk around and find a movie that we actually want to watch. And it may take like 3 hours, but we'll do it. And then, let's not forget when we had to watch VHSs because like DVDs were not always a thing. And if that motherfucker who rented it before didn't rewind it, then you had to rewind the thing.
Another 5 fucking minutes you had to wait. And if you don't know, if you're listening and you don't know what a VHS is, I mean, good luck on this podcast. But
you're too young, bro.
You're too young for us, bro. We love you, but like, ask us in the sidebar about these things. But my favorite VHS were the bright neon orange Nickelodeon ones.
Oh my gosh.
The Rugrats.
Joe still has one at his house that his dad like found going through stuff. I think it was like the Rugrats movie, honestly. Probably.
My parents definitely. At least maybe they got rid of them. They were in the garage, so like
I know we had them for a hot minute, but I don't know what we did with them. Speaking of things that were like nostalgic, did you ever have the like I think they were from Burger King, the Hercules plates?
Yes, I can picture them.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Perfectly. I don't know if we had them, but I can picture them
We
vividly.
had like every single one. And I don't know where any of them are now. I'm pretty sure we probably got rid of them. But they were like, they came with like your meal, like your Happy Meal. Well, it wasn't a Happy Meal at Burger King, whatever the fucking kids' meal was.
Yeah. I remember those. That. Yeah. Oh my God.
And then Beanie Babies were like a big thing at McDonald's.
Listen, Brielle's about to get gifted a couple Beanie Babies because we still have some.
It's fine. She'll love it.
I know. That's why I'm like, my parents are trying to get rid of them, and I'm like, but they're so cute.
Those little squishies that she's obsessed with, her little like Squishmallows. That like Squishmallow brand, I think they're like either sisters or related to like Beanie Baby, or maybe it is like a Beanie Baby type thing. Because I got her one
too, like on the bottom.
Well, some of them are, not all of them, but some of them are. But the one, because they're like kind of like a pillow. They're almost like a pillow pet, and a Beanie Baby had a baby. And it became a Squashmallow. But I got her one from Michael's because they were like buy one, get one half off or some shit. And it literally had the Beanie Baby tag on it. And its name was Nina. And it was like born in like, I don't know, September, whatever, 2020.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a Beanie Baby, but it's not a Beanie Baby. Like, it's the new age Beanie Baby.
I love them.
You know, everything comes full circle in its own way.
I know. I love it so much.
I know. She's really into Play-Doh right now. Play-Doh's a big thing, which is like good and bad because she's constantly putting it on the floor. And I'm like, baby Joey cannot be near the Play-Doh. he will put it in his mouth.
Yeah.
So
Not yet.
I yell about that because, you know, we had the incident when I was growing up where Nick stuck a bead up his nose, and I had to throw away all my beads because of that incident.
Yeah,
because that was
I told
my
you.
fault.
Yeah, I told you about the time I shoved one of those. Do you remember those little pill things that you like dissolved and they made into like you put them in the water and then they popped out as like foam animals? Yeah, I shoved one of those up my nose. My dad literally told me dead ass in the face, was like, "Don't put this up your nose." And literally probably walked away. And he's like, "You did it, didn't you?" And then you're crying because you're like, "I'm gonna." Like the tweezers are scary, you know, all the things.
Well, at least like, your parents had enough common sense to use tweezers, where my father, because my mom was working, freaked out, told my brother, you know, hold your nose and blow. And instead of blowing, my brother sucked it up more. And then he freaked out. This is the best part. He freaked out because the bead's in his nose. He's like, he can't breathe. Meanwhile, one nostril still exists and is open.
Your whole mouth. You know?
So my dad, and this is like why sometimes I'm just like, men are not equipped to raise babies on their own. But my dad took both my brother and I, rushed to the hospital and called my mom. We're going to the hospital because Nick put a bead up his nose, blah, blah, blah. We get to the hospital. What did the doctor do? Took tweezers, pulled it out.
Yep.
My mom goes, you couldn't have tried that? That wasn't a thought. Immediately goes to the hospital.
My dad has the tools, you know, like
the positive is like at least Joe works in the medical profession, so like he'd have enough common sense. He'd actually probably be better if a medical emergency erupted than I would be. So
absolutely, like thank God you found him, because truly you need that kind of mental support.
I'm always like, what do I need to do about this? He's like, I don't know, Steph. I'm not a doctor. I'm like, but you basically are. You basically are. And you always want to be when you want to tell me something. But when I ask you, you always are not a doctor. But then suddenly, when you have something to tell me about it, you are a doctor. So
it's too funny.
Make it make sense, sir.
Oh my God.
Are you a doctor or are you not? He's like, that's not in my pay grade. I'm like, well, you're basically a doctor. So you know more than I know. You studied anatomy of the body. I studied ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. So I can't tell you what's wrong with my foot, but you might be able to.
I know, school. I have feelings about school. I don't know if we should get into it on this one. By school, I mean college.
Oh, I definitely
all school,
don't
I
think
guess.
Joe's like, our children are not going to college. I'm like, I mean, valid college probably won't even exist by that point.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it'll be morphed into, I hope it's morphed into some logical fucking place to
100%.
Because I also sometimes get to like 4 hours of my working day, like before my lunch break, and I'm like, oh my God, I have an existential fucking crisis, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm literally just clickety clacking on a stupid fucking device sitting at a fucking thing, and I'm losing my marbles, and then I have to like, where is my little notebook that I have that's literally right here? I was like, Corey, I need to channel my like hand usage, brain, like making the bracelet, the necklace. We're gonna do the charm. I'm drawing Powerpuff Girls during my I'm like, I just needed a break, and I was like, oh my God. And then
Morgs.
I know,
I'm like, you know, Morg's creativity comes out.
I'm like, I just sometimes need a break from the clickety clacks. Where's my?
I don't blame you.
Powerpuff Girls. They were so cute. They were so cute. But yes, we're gonna. Oh, it's all of the character. Look at Bluey. I'm working on Bluey for Brielle. You know, I got it.
That's so good.
Oh my gosh. I know. I'm not using my fucking skills wisely.
You really need to open an Etsy. Well, I know you kind of have an Etsy shop, but you need to like make stuff and put it on there. Just saying. Bluey is like taking over the world. Start there.
It's true.
Ooh, you know what'd be cool?
What?
Trademark this shit. Ain't nobody fucking listen to this and take it, because I will come after you. Especially this week. But you should get like shoes, like white canvasy shoes.
Yeah.
Doodle,
paint on the shoes,
whatever you would do on the shoe. The Bluey characters. I'd buy that shit up.
Okay.
Or different things. Different stuff.
I mean, I've told you I'll have to use your services for shipping, you know?
That's fine. I got you in the shipping department.
I don't want to ship anything ever.
I know. Well, and if I,
it's a problem.
if I ever open this boutique, which I'm still, pending. You
Tell
could
Steph
always
it's a good idea, guys.
You could always sell your products on my boutique. Hi, hello.
That's true. I love that. I'm here for that.
I've thought about doing like mommy and me stuff too, at some point. So
I love that.
It's going to happen. I am putting it out into the universe. I actually got free shelving from QVC.
Oh, shit.
They like sent out a thing that they had all these different, as you know, they'd like send me things like, oh, pick stuff that you want to try out and talk about. Okay, cool. So like one of the things I picked out was these pop-up shelves. And I was like, if these get sent to me, because not everything gets sent to me, but I was like, if these get sent to me, it's a sign that I need to open this boutique. And they sure as shit did.
Green flag.
Because a lot of these girls have like shelves. They have like the shelves behind them to like keep everything. So I was like, okay.
Yay.
I got sent the shelves. It's a sign that I need to just do. I just need to like get the logistics in order, but once we get that.
Exciting. I like it.
Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned.
I'm gonna circle us back for a second because
I know we just went totally off on a rant.
I know, but like I'm still gonna talk about Netflix for a second because
that's fine.
I was watching wait, did I post about it? Maybe on Instagram or somewhere. I posted about that I was reading Tell Me Lies.
Oh yes.
And you had watched it and then I was watching it.
But that's Hulu. Don't get it confused.
Oh no, I know. But I was watching it on Hulu, and in one of the scenes their girls are watching doing like a movie night in the dorm. But they had the OG Netflix DVDs you mailed back. You know that's how it started, right?
Yes.
We didn't have it.
That I fucking hated Netflix when it first became a thing?
I mean, I still fucking hate Netflix.
Well,
that shit buffers.
But that's not what I hated about it. I just didn't like the idea of this streaming service that didn't have anything interesting on it. Like, do you remember Netflix was just the stupid movies back in the day?
I remember.
When Netflix first came about with the streaming, it was just dumb movies, and I don't even know if there were shows or if it was just straight up dumb movies.
The first,
and I never watched anything on it.
Well, the first big hit was Orange is the New Black. That was their big thing. But before that,
there was nothing.
I think that was their. I've looked at this before. It's either that or something else that's their first Netflix original, and that really I think pushed them forward to
there's
money.
I mean, now it's there's so much on there. But no, I remember back then, because I remember being in college and going to friends' houses or my ex's houses, and I was like, I don't want to watch anything on Netflix. Netflix fucking sucks. There's nothing good on here. Let's go to Redbox and rent a movie, please. And we just go outside of the freaking Walgreens or CVS and get a Redbox movie. I mean, and even freshman year of college, I don't know about for you, where you were at, but we still had a Blockbuster 5 minutes away from my apartment that we would just go to casually on a Friday night. Because I remember one of my exes and we would go rent the Weeds, the Weed episodes, Weeds.
I don't remember what we watched.
But I think that was the last year.
Jersey Shore. Only watch Jersey Shore.
I think that was the last year that the Blockbuster existed. Then after my freshman year, got kicked to the curb, and then Redbox came about.
Yeah,
and then Netflix started to creep in.
I know.
And then
it's so
by my last 2 years ish in there in college up in Orlando, I feel that's when Netflix really started to move up. I mean, I was never really a big show person though.
Yeah.
I didn't get into anything until Joe and I started dating. I had never even watched The Office until Joe and I started dating. And then that was his go to bed show.
Oh, yeah.
On in the background.
That's a lot of people's go to bed show.
Security blanket show. And I was oh, this show is really good. I really like this. And now I've seen it about a bajillion times. And my daughter watched it pretty much all of her first month of living.
Yep.
Because that's all I had on in the background. And Joe's how many times are you going to watch this? I had it on. This was my favorite part. Because on Peacock, they had the regular seasons. And then they also had the super fan seasons where they were little things changed throughout. And I would I'd watch the full season or the full series, and then I'd hop over to the Superfan, and then it would just like randomly like pop up different ones. So Joe's like, "Do you even know which thing you're on right now?" I'm like, "Mm-mm." Like
No
one
idea.
day I'm watching the Superfan series,
Yeah.
and the next day I'm watching the regular.
Like I'm good. I'm
And
just
when we
watching.
get to the end, we get to the end and we start all over. I probably watched the series 1,000 times, at least.
I just love that so much. We recently started rewatching. Well, I say rewatching, but I don't think I ever watched it all. Breaking Bad.
Oh, I never.
I feel like we talked about this.
So again, that was another show that like was really popular, and I never watched it when everyone else watched it. But then when I started dating Joe, he was like, "I'm gonna watch Breaking Bad again," and I was like, "Oh, I guess I could give it a go." And like it was very interesting, but I don't know if I got through the whole thing or not.
Do you remember like the last pieces I remember were the chicken guy? Do you remember that? Because that's like later on. Do I have any context of the chicken guy? No, but that's what I said to Corey. He's like, "Oh, you watched a good amount."
I don't know. That doesn't ring a bell.
If you would know, you would know.
Then
you would know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gus,
I know that I got to a point that I was like, okay, I was like up like really good, really liking it, and then like I don't know at what point I was like, now this is just kind of like.
That's what happened to me. I'm like, I have to give it a go. I don't know how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like the kind of person who's like, but then I'm gonna get addicted, and then I'm not gonna want it to end. And like when I watched Weeds like religiously, and then when it was finally airing and like the finale, and I was like, I'm not watching that last episode.
I don't know if I ever saw the last episode either, actually. Now that I think, like all these shows, I'm like, did I ever finish a fucking series of anything besides The Office? And like that was like years after it was already like a thing. Thinking about it, I never even finished Pretty Little Liars. Like I never watched the last episode. I'm pretty sure you told me what the last episode was.
The new one came out with the second season. Yeah. So like it's time.
I know. I have so many shows to watch.
I will throw Pretty Little Liars on in the back like a psychopath because I just tune it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tried watching like the original, like Pretty Little Liars again, like probably 2 years ago, and I had forgotten how like cringy it was.
It's so fucking cringy.
I was like, wait, we were so addicted to this show though. But like when we watched it, we didn't find it to be cringy.
No, because we were like that age of cringe.
I guess that's true. We were like little teeny bopping high schoolers. Like what did we really know about cringy shows?
You know what about cringy shows? I told Steph I started watching fucking Dance Moms.
My God. Let me just say, I fucking love Dance Moms. Thank God for Maria because she is the reason I got into that. So Maria, if you're listening, kudos to you. You got me into Dance Moms, and I have watched that over and over again. That was another show that I watched a ton after Brielle came out of my hoo-ha. Or I guess technically my stomach. But like
uterus, whatever.
It was just such a good, like so bad but so good at the same time.
Right.
Like the drama of the mothers. It's not even the kids, just the mothers.
Like TikToks, like of the noises and like the clips that I've seen. So like I've seen some things.
Yeah.
But then I saw the clips from the reunion that they just did. Did you watch the reunion?
No. When did this happen?
Maybe like
very
last
recently.
Week. Yeah. Or like May 1st.
Wait, where can I watch this? I'm gonna watch it tonight after we're done.
I think on Hulu. If not, definitely the Lifetime app. But I watched the reunion first because, you know.
So you've never seen it before?
Not from the beginning. Like not like
right in order. Oh my gosh, Morgan. It's such a roller coaster. It's so much investment, but it's so good. I
had it on and Corey was like, I'm not watching this shit. And then like sorry,
like
Corey's calling out. But like that,
where they're like stand like their foot's on the couch and they're just eating popcorn like, oh, what's happening with that bitch?
Well, that's what happened the next day. It was like he's like, well, are they even good? And I was like, yeah, like look at them. Like they're freaking amazing.
Oh yeah. They're extremely talented.
You know, then we were talking about how like 90% or you know, the girls from the show, at least most of them don't do dance anymore. Surprise. But like that he was just watched a snippet of it.
You know what was really interesting? I was watching like a interview with JoJo Siwa, the new JoJo Siwa.
The new JoJo. The karma
and she was
JoJo.
and she was talking about how she didn't think that Abby Lee Miller was like all that bad. Like she's like that's a typical dance teacher in that type of environment. She's like they make it out to be worse than it really is type of thing. Like but she's like I had a great relationship with her.
Yeah. I was going to ask you how you felt about watching the show because
of my dance background.
yeah, and just like yeah, exactly. It was like a
and having kids.
athlete, kids, all the things.
So it's funny because when I used to watch, so the first time I ever watched it was in college because of Maria. She used to always have it on, and I didn't watch it in order back then. We would just like whenever it was on Lifetime. And I used to be like, wow, this lady's a friggin' bitch, but this is so entertaining. And the moms are just like hot mess expresses.
Oh my God, right.
And it's so comical to me. And then when I watched it after Brie was born, I was like, still thought the same things, but I was kind of like, honestly, like I know that a lot of this is dramatized for TV, and I'm sure it's not as bad as they make it look for TV. But at the same time, I personally have never wanted to myself or wanted my children, and this is even like prior to having kids, but like I never wanted them to be in like that type of professional dance environment,
competitive
because of just the, what is the word that I want to look for? Like not the stereotypicalness of it, but like
there's so much pressure.
There's a lot of pressure, but like the thing with, and especially with like ballet, for instance, every time that like I've heard of ballerinas or seen things with ballerinas or anything along that, it's like you're expected to look like this, like a freaking string bean. You're expected to basically like starve yourself. There's been so many girls that I knew personally who had eating disorders from dance because of that, or had like body dysmorphia because of that. And like the training for it, like you fuck up your feet for it, all these things that I'm like, does it even become that enjoyable anymore? Like it's so, there's so much pressure around to look a certain way, to be a certain way, to act a certain way. And these girls starve themselves and like do these crazy things to their body just to like fit this image that is just like so unrealistic. And I never wanted, like, especially having a daughter now, like if Brie wants to do dance, by all means, she can do dance. I'm probably going to be a little bit more like with the ballet. But like, by all means, go do the other shit. Go do freaking tap. Go do jazz. Go do hip hop. Go do lyrical. Ballet, I don't know. I have a really hard time with the image behind ballet. And maybe it's different now, but from what I remember growing up, no.
I know. Some of that I'm sure has not changed. Corey, when he did pop in to watch the episode, he was like, you know, we were talking about how Abby is like terrible communicator, like flatline, like just we could just say that she's a terrible communicator regardless. And Corey's like, she would be a great football coach though. Like, and I was like, you're not wrong. And that made me kind of think too. I'm like, it's true because these girls, like, she's fucked up to talk to them, how she talks to them, and like all the situations that have come up that I have seen so far. I'm not even very far. If I could see, because one of the girls is a little older, like I could see her being like that to kids that are 15 or whatever, you know, kids that are like,
but yeah, when they're like 5,
dude,
when they're babies,
the little Mackenzie,
I know she's so tiny.
She has the
she
best
talks to them like they're oh my God, she really does. But she talks to them like they're adults, and it's like that's where like it's hard. But then at the same time, like listening to someone like JoJo or just like knowing the dance background, like a lot of the times like professional dancers and choreographers, like that's how they act. That's how they are.
Right.
And so it's like it sucks. You kind of have to have tough skin. It's almost like being in the military, like going through boot camp. Like if you don't have the tough skin for that, like you ain't gonna make the cut.
Right. And that's what she said. Like it's so sad because like clearly these kids have fucking trauma from this. 1,000%.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell that like Abby has like the artistic vision. Like some of these like dances have like such like like, a story and this, and like she has a vision, and you can see the moms. Like now I'm in season 2, and the moms are like, "Well, I'm not really sure about this dance, but like honestly, Abby just knows.
Yep.
And they're starting to get it too. That's like, it's
Did you
not.
get to I don't remember what season it is where they do like a really controversial dance that the moms were like really iffy about the kids doing, and then
Yes.
it was like one of the best dances that they've like ever done.
Yes. It was it the abused child?
Yes.
Or it was like missing child or something? Yep. It was, then that was maybe
because they
that
were
happened,
like,
and
these
then
kids
later.
don't know what the fuck this means, but like you're
I
having them
know.
portray this, but it's like
I
it
know.
clearly did really well, and you'll see in like future seasons like they redo that because
Oh, really? Yeah.
because it was like just one of her like top
Yeah.
choreographies.
Well, and it seems like from, because I have no chill, so like
Yeah.
I watch one thing, I'm down the fucking Wikipedia rabbit hole. But it seemed kind of like that what I had read was Abby's mom was also the instructor at the studio before her, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think Kelly, I was on Reddit. I dived deep.
Well, yeah, Kelly was like one of the students like when she was a kid.
Yes. And I think Kelly has a line later on in the seasons, and she says like Abby's mom was the most harsh on her, even and she was more harsh than Abby is, which is like, so the abused child, like I'm like,
it just goes down.
It's so sad.
Trickles
but
down.
Like, yeah, how would she? Of course, she doesn't know how to communicate with these kids because this is how her mom communicated with her. Blah blah blah. But
no, but you can tell like as you watch it, you can tell like how much love she has for those kids too.
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
it's just so crazy because like they put her, and not that I'm defending what she does, but like they put her in this like very negative light, and it's kind of like, again, if you've never done dance or you've never been in that realm of the world, like you wouldn't know that like that's kind of just how it is.
Right.
And yeah, she looks a lot worse the way she acts and stuff, but I'm sure again they dramatize it for TV purposes. Agree. And you can tell how much she does love those girls, and she probably does want to kill some of those mothers because they can get very catty and crazy. Like, let's be real. It's wild. Just wait, Morgs, if you're only on season 2, it gets crazier as the seasons go on. Because then they get older and like more shit happens. I was gonna say, did you know like about like Abby's like storyline? Like,
I know some of the pieces of like like she got arrested, the bankruptcy, the other pieces
and like the cancer and stuff, and like
yes.
You know what show I want to watch? It's called like Abby's.
She has a later competition show, right? Or something?
Yeah, Abby's. I don't know why I want to call it Fun House. It's not called that. It's something with house, though, I feel like.
Absolutely not fun.
Dance something? Abby's not Dance House. I got to look it up. I wanted to watch it, and I was like, where is this? Where can I find this to stream? And it was on like all these weird things that they don't exist.
Of course.
I don't have the access for them, and I have enough streaming services as it is. Of course. So. But no, it's really, I do enjoy that a lot.
You will enjoy the reunion. I feel like you'll probably
I'm
cry.
100% watching it now. But I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I guess when I saw you posted something, or you sent a snap to me.
Maybe. Probably.
And I was like, Morgan's watching a reunion. Maybe that's what I already saw. Because they do like reunions at the end of each season. So I thought maybe that.
No. This is like the 10-year, like.
Wow.
And it was only a few of them. Like Paige and Brooke, JoJo, Kalani, which I haven't seen her yet. In, like,
she comes a little later on.
And then Kendall.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Mackenzie and Maddie. Maddie was like her star.
I know.
Interesting.
I know. I guess.
Is Abby in the?
No.
Oh, interesting.
No.
So it's just the 4 of them?
It's the girls, and then the moms. Some of the moms are there, like Kendall's mom, JoJo's, Paige, and Kalani's.
Okay.
So like not even Christy, like Chloe.
Was Chloe there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And her mom wasn't there though.
Interesting.
But it was
fucking light time. It's
good.
Been charging this whole time. What were you doing, Light? What were you actually doing?
Oh my God. You'll have to give me a full review. We'll give the people a full review after, but
indeed. That will be the review for next week.
It's been my detox from the Tell Me Lies show. It's actually quite the opposite of that show, because I was texted Steph, if you haven't watched the Hulu show Tell Me Lies, it's based off a book. I read the book first. Thank fucking God, because it was so much better.
We recommend, though, watching the show. If you choose to watch the show, watch it
yes.
before you read the book,
because
you will not like it at all.
It was good. Like, the show I give 6.5 if I'm being generous. That's just me because of the book. I literally
Right.
like shut the book and then open the show. So like, don't do
Too
that.
close. Too
Too
close.
I texted Steph and I was like, they could have cut out like 4 sex scenes, so
Oh,
I could
yeah.
have gotten to the
You know what's
drama.
interesting? Like, why was
like,
it so sexual? Like, why did they feel
dude, it's
to make it
Hulu.
so sexual?
I didn't know it would be like that. I'm like, this is not HBO. Like,
Oh,
what?
no. The first scene is like freaking sex scene.
I was like, Jesus.
That's when I turned it on, I go, I could get behind this, but I don't know what else this is going to entail. And I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. And I remember immediately texting Natalie and I was like, there's a new show on Hulu. I feel like you'd enjoy it too. We should watch it simultaneously, but far apart.
It was good, but they definitely knew they were going to do a season 2. Like,
which is so this is the thing, like, obviously I watched it, you read it, well, you read and watched it, but you read it first. So when I watched it and it ended, I was like, are they going to do a season 2? Because the way that they left off, yes, it 100% could be a season 2. But I was like, I don't know. And then I remember Googling and there was so much back and forth, like, oh, well, the way the book ends, they wouldn't do a season 2. But then again, this ended totally differently from the book. So I'm like, well, how the fuck does the book end? Now I know because of Morgan. But I was like, okay, well, are they not going to do a season 2? And I think they were just waiting to see like what the reviews were going to be like and if people cared enough to see a season 2. But you said that they are definitely. Yeah. That's what you read?
I think they already filmed. Like, I think it's going to be coming out soon.
Well, that's exciting.
It is.
So
I definitely recommend the book. Don't watch the show. I'm just kidding.
No, watch the show. Just don't watch it, or just don't read before you watch.
Yeah.
Do what I did.
Yeah.
Watch it and then take a break and read.
If you want me to spoil it for you, if you've watched the show and you don't read and you don't want to read, I'll spoil it for you. Just
spoil away.
You fucking message me. I was like, Steph, I think I might just need to have a TED Talk about books at some point on the podcast because
100%. Honestly, we have a lot of books that we could talk about that we did read when I was in my like reading era.
I know.
This is the funny thing. Like,
you're getting back to it.
I need to. I was like the one who was like reading supporter. I was like, everybody get a Kindle. I was the first one to get a Kindle, and I'm over here reading all these books. Morgan used to audio or Audible the books, and I was over here just like bookworm, like read. I'm like, guys, we got to read this book next. We got to read this book. We got to do this book. And now I'm like,
she fell off.
Have I even read a book in a year?
It literally happens.
I know.
It's not a bad thing.
But like, dude, I was on my reading A game. I probably read like 20 books in like 4 months, and now I haven't read a single book in like, I don't even know. It's got to be a year. I found out I was pregnant January of 2023, and then I definitely was like already on the reading slump. And this is probably the point where like there was just no reading in sight at all. Unfortunately.
Yes, this was and it was the height of our audio messaging, the beginning of our audio messaging, which was perfect because we were simultaneously reading The Perfect Marriage. If you've read it, you know.
What a good freaking book.
It's a great book as long as you aren't like a super harsh critic like our friend Natalie. But
we love you, Natalie.
Shout out, Natalie.
Yeah, if you don't look too hard into things, it's a really good read.
Yeah, like if you're the kind of person who's like digging for plot holes, like probably not the one for you. But Steph and I were like true detectives. We had our magnifying. We're up, and she's like, "Okay, I read up to chapter 6, and
we were like so blindsided because I'm pretty sure none of our theories matched what actually happened at all.
Yup.
It was just, it was such a good, like, definitely give that one a read. Verity, I mean, that's its own freaking beast, but a great freaking read.
But that I literally
do not recommend if you just had a baby, because that was the hardest thing for me to read after just having Brielle. But a really good read regardless. Wild AF.
Shit was wild. The Frida McFadden books again. If you sometimes.
Oh, what was the other one that I really liked from her?
Don't
Lie.
Never Lie. Yes,
Never Lie. I was like, it's something with a lie. That was like, a really good one.
The first one I like binged in like 24 hours.
Was that the one with the therapist or the psychiatrist or whatever the fuck she was? I can't remember what. I know I liked it, but I can't remember. Was that the one where they went to like go buy the house?
Mm-hmm.
That was that. Okay.
That was that one. Yeah.
That one was really good. I really liked that one. And then the insane asylum. What was that? Yes. That was a really good one too.
You did that one.
But I did I figured that shit out.
You did.
I was like, Morgan, I know.
That was so fucking great. The word D, and then I did the inmate, which you never finished that. I don't think that was where you fell off. I think that was literally where you fell off.
I got through 2 chapters and then I haven't. I know. I think though what I'm going to do, I really want to read The Teacher.
Yeah,
because, as we know, I once was a teacher. Once a teacher, always a teacher.
We love a good mystery.
So, like, can you just give me, like, I guess, a synopsis of what the book's even about? Because, like, listening to the title, The Teacher, I have no clue what the fuck it's about.
So this is one of those that I, like, also binged because they're, like, the Fridas are, like, a quick read.
Yeah.
So I, like, remember the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I couldn't tell you. Does that ever happen to anyone else? That you read and then you're like, I actually don't even remember any fucking thing about this book.
Oh my god, I love you, Morgs.
I believe.
Is there a murder in it? Is it like?
Yes,
it's a murder mystery.
Wait, hold on. Let me pull up literally.
I was going to say, is there like a?
Or just,
I don't have my phone because it's charging. Can you look up like what the?
Oh, the actual description.
Yeah, I feel like I need to know the description.
But I feel as though I read the first page and I was like, the fuck is this?
See, that's the thing though, like her books, like Frida McFadden, I almost called her McFadden, like she has such great, like, pull you in.
Oh my god.
I just feel like those, the first chapter, just like,
I'll reread it with you.
Hey, go for it. But I, like, she was the one, we got into her because of The Housemaid. Yes. I was trying to think, like, where the love for her book started. It was the freaking Housemaid. Yeah, that was
and I feel like
really
The Housemaid's not even my. It's like not even up there for me anymore.
I enjoyed The Housemaid, the first one, but then whatever the second one was called, like The Housemaid's Secret or whatever, that was terrible in my opinion. I did not like it at all. I couldn't
remember if you finished that one.
No, I did finish it, unfortunately. Oh my god, what was that fucking book that Natalie told us to read and it was absolutely awful and I wanted to kill myself during
let me go. I have all the things in the Goodreads.
It was the rock, paper, scissors or some shit.
Oh my god.
Guys, do yourself a favor, don't read that
shit.
Unless you are okay with reading the most boring thing up until like 80% of the book. Because the last 20% was like very intense. But even the ending was kind of like,
right, it was a letdown. Wait, let me see if I left a review because sometimes I like will actually write notes.
I know you're actually.
Oh no, I didn't. I did audio though. The Locked Door. That was the other one.
I was just about to ask you, what was the one? That was the dad that was a like serial killer, right?
Yes, that was a really good one.
That was a really good one. I was trying to think of like the girl that would go to the guy's house and then like she never stayed with him and she'd run back home. What was wrong with that guy? Why can't I remember what the problem with him was?
Can I read you this review real quick?
Oh, go for it.
This is for the woman in Cabin 10. It's by Ruth Ware, which I've seen her like books come up before.
Mm-hmm.
So I like gave it a go. It was when I was in my Audible kick.
Mm-hmm.
Took 7 hours on Audible to get my attention. There was multiple days that I was going to give up. There was potential so close to the end, but overall feeling meh about it. 2-star. Look at me.
2-star review.
2-star.
At least you give reviews, but we'll try this again. It's probably gonna die though.
Oh, nice.
I might.
Oh my god. I fucking can't. The other one I'll mention is if you're an American Horror Story fan, the latest season that came out is called Delicate with Kim Kardashian.
Can I just stop you right there for 1 second?
Kim.
So on Hulu, or not Hulu, well, it's on Hulu, but Disney Plus will like show like, things from Hulu on their ship that goes across the top of the screen. So like, fuck this light. The like the main picture is like Kim Kardashian, like as a spider or whatever the fuck she is. Every time that comes up on Disney Plus, Brielle goes, I won't watch that. I'm like, no, we're not watching that.
Spooky.
I won't watch the spider. I won't watch the spider. I'm like, I don't care what you want to watch. It's not for you. It's not age appropriate.
Oh.
But she's obsessed with the spooky. So all she saw was creepy looking shit. And she's like, I want that.
I love her.
She's such a spooky little baby.
She is. I know her.
I mean, she is
skeleton
born.
Dog. I can't.
She's born in spooky season.
She's
a fall baby.
She is. She knows.
You know what's disappointing? Almost all of us in my family are fall babies because even Joe is considered fall because it's not winter yet till like December 20 something.
Yeah.
But Joey, he missed that cutoff by one day.
Well, you chose that life for him.
I know. I was like, do I choose? I literally said, it was either do you remember the 21st night of September, or do I choose the day after so that he is a fall baby?
It's fine.
And also a Libra, because that was also like the thing.
Like the day, or is it like
he
close?
Is a Virgo. The 21st is basically like the cusp. So like the 21st is still Virgo, and then the 22nd is Libra. So he's like right there.
It's perfect.
He's gonna have a little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
For sure. Oh my God.
But anyways, going about the delicate. I had to throw that in there because I'm like, every time Brielle would see that, she's like, I want to watch that. I'm like, no.
No, girl. No.
Sorry. No nightmares here.
That American Horror season was also based off a book. If you can't tell by now, I love a good book. Book to movie, book to show.
That's what we're here for.
The book. So I watched the American Horror Story season as they came out, like by the week by, as it came out week by week, which I feel as though if you did not have the book knowledge, you would probably be like, this fucking sucks. It's so 100%. Slow, blah, blah, blah. It's like definitely like a show, and they had the strike happen.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
right.
They had to split it into two. It was a whole thing. I feel like they probably whatever. I saw when I read the book, I was like, I don't think this is going to be a spoiler because none of this.
This was the book that you told me not to read right at the moment, right?
Okay. Correct. Well, because you were like pregnant at the time. I don't know why that they have this theory like topic always in American Horror Story.
I know,
but whatever. I kept at the end of the book. I was like, oh my fucking God. This is going to be the greatest fucking season of American Horror Story because they're going to have a crossover into Coven. I'm like, no questions asked. I was like, this, what? Mine is plugged into the wall. So like, what? Maybe it has a timer, honestly. How long have we been on here? I don't know. Anyways, they didn't do a crossover with Coven like they should have. Please read the book at some point because you'll be like, oh.
Does that? So I haven't watched all of the American Horror Stories seasons, but I did watch
Coven.
My child is awake.
Yeah, he has awoken.
But I think he'll be okay. As long as you can't hear him. I just don't want it to be in the background. Anyways, I did watch Coven.
Yeah. Because that was 3, like the beginning.
Yes. Coven was the one with like the witches and the warlocks and the shit, right? Okay.
They're in New Orleans.
I watched that. So that in the book, it makes that like they all come together, is what you're saying?
That's what I wanted to happen. That did not happen.
I see.
But I feel as though they had an opportunity that they didn't do.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Just another book situation. But I have other good books if people care.
If they care.
If they care, let me know.
Listen, it works. It works. I was going to say too, I just looked at the thing. I was like, oh wow, we've been talking about these things for 50 minutes. Look at us go. And we never even rated our weeks. So I guess we can end our podcast episode with the rating of the week since we just went completely backwards before we talk for any longer. Right. But what was my week like? You go first because I have to think for a second. I don't even remember.
Oh, you're good. I think my week was good. It was fine. 9, 8.5. Like nothing insane happened.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like I've been like in a slump a little bit.
Me too. Me too.
And so, like, that would be why it's not, like, any higher. But that's just, like, a personal problem, I
I mean,
feel.
that's still like pretty high though.
It's pretty high. It's pretty
The
high. We, like,
8.59.
saw Corey's parents for Mother's Day and, like, did
Yeah.
whatever. Just, did we do anything Sunday? I don't remember. If I don't remember, I guess it's a good thing. I don't know.
True.
So,
True that. True that.
just going through the days, but nothing to report.
I'm not giving mine an 8.
Yeah.
And I'm only giving it an 8 because it was a good week, minus the fact that I did not get any sleep because baby Joey has been teething. And will probably be teething for the unforeseeable future because I feel like every day there's a new tooth that I just see getting ready to make its appearance. And I'm like, how many days will this tooth take? Because we've already had 3 out of the 4 that I saw come out. So it's only a matter of time before we get a couple more. And yes, my ring told me every morning how shitty my sleep was. Aww. Except for yesterday morning where I did get to sleep in thanks to Joseph. But yeah, it was like 50s. I think one day might have been a 49 as my sleep score. Oh. And my favorite thing about my ring, it's such a little bitch sometimes. I love my ring. But this motherfucker will be like, it seems as though you need to start prioritizing sleep.
Like, fuck right off, Aura Ring.
Listen, Aura Ring, when I set your bitch ass up, you asked me questions. And one of those questions was, how is your sleep? And I said, it sucks, for lack of better words. There were better words in there. But basically, I told it sucks. And it was like, well, why does it suck? Are there reasons for it to suck? Like little kids? And I was like, yes, little kids, exactly. And this bitch still be like, motherfucker, you don't sleep well. And I'm like, motherfucker, why you think I don't sleep well?
I told you why.
I done told you in the fucking app why I don't sleep well. But it's so fine. Sad. We, just a season of life.
Just a season.
Just a season we're living in. But it's okay. One morning or one day I get like a solid 7 hours of sleep, and the next day I get like 3 hours broken up, 3 hours, 3-hour breaks, whatever. It is what it is at this point. I've just come to live this lifestyle, but
for sure.
It goes to show you that women, we have a higher pain tolerance than men. It starts off as a baby. Brielle, no issues. She would have like one bad teething night a month. That was it.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to think back. I was like, I don't remember her as a baby having issues.
No, she was good. She was good till those molars came in. Those were the worst for her.
Sure.
But like baby Joey, the first tooth that came in, he was like, nope, abso-fucking-lutely not. And I was like, I looked at Joe and I said, this is why women, we're tougher than men. Starts out as a baby. Look at my daughter, female.
I'm dead. That's
very
hilarious.
Strong.
Yeah.
High pain tolerance. Mother. Very strong high pain tolerance. Baby Joey, big Joey. Can't say the same for them. But, it's fine.
That's so funny. Corey's mom was saying how the Naked and Afraid, like the statistics for like the winners of the show are like primarily women. And I was just like, I just look at her and I'm like, well, we knew that would be
I mean, what other gender bleeds through their vajayjay once a month, every month? We literally have like one good week out of the entire month where we're not bleeding, crazy, bloated, in pain, fatigued, ovulating.
Fucking annoying.
Mentally unstable. The list goes on.
Unwell. Insert roller coaster here. Sweet Lord.
Anyways, well, we hope you guys enjoyed this very, I don't know,
rambly session about nostalgic video, streaming, books, TV, movies, media.
Yeah, this is a very media throwback episode, and I'm here for it. So we hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages, which is Baby One More Podcast, and we will catch you all next week.
Ta-ta.
Bye.